You have full control over styling your page elements. You can go from the page layout itself as far as the number of columns that your page contains. For example, this page has one column. I could go to a 2-column setup, or I could go to a 3-column setup. You can also fully stylize each element within your page, from content to also layout items. For example, I can go and click on any individual element within the site. In this case, I'll click on this text element, and I can click on the Edit Style option to modify type or character, spacing, or even the border, which is the same option as the Style tab where you have these options. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and update the background. This takes me to the background area. Currently I have a default or transparent background. I can pick a custom color if I choose to, for example. Or I can also go as far as applying a background. So I've selected the block. I can go ahead and pick a background. I could upload my own background, or I could go to the texture library. And in this case, let's go and select a marble texture here. That's a little too dark. Let's go with something lighter. There we go. Update it, and I am done. Now, in this case, the spacing, the text is stuck to the very edges of the content. So I'm going to click on the object. I'm going to go to my spacing, and I can actually customize the top, left, bottom of the spacing. In fact, I could click right on the top left corner of each object's element, and I can actually start organizing the spacing for the top and the left. And if I want to apply additional spacing, I can go and apply the spacing here. So I can go and actually do margins. Let's say I want to have some margin for my content. As you see, that just increases spacing here. I can go ahead and apply margin within the block, because what I want to do is I want to have some space within the block and the background. And so within the margin, it's this area within the content. It allows me to create some gap. So as you can see now, I have a clean area where there is text and then there is spacing gap between it. Let's go ahead and decide if I want to add a border. I simply click on the object, go to the border. I could click from the top, select a light color here, and within one click I could actually apply it to all sides. By clicking apply to all sides, it will do the job for me for the rest of the borders. So as you can see, I have achieved a very clean, simple border around my object here. You can do the same thing for any object. You can click on content, such as here. You can go to background, modify the background. You can also choose from repeating the background within the different dimensions of the page, modify colors. You can go to individual objects and modify the text and character by going to the style, type, and character, and you can actually achieve the color changes here. Modify and update the font size. It is all within your control within the elements of the page. So every element in your page from the content that you drag and drop, you have the ability to click on the object and modify its spacing, border, and adjust the layout. It's that simple.